Hey folks, Brendan here from Bluelight. Now in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to dig a big hole and fail your police interview. So for those of you who are preparing for the police recruitment process, one of the things you're not aware of is how easy it is to fail based on actually you telling a story, an account of something that you've done in the past, where you think it's the sort of behaviours that they're looking for from the police, but you've got it completely wrong. What you're actually doing is digging a massive big hole for yourself, jumping in, and then being failed by the interviewer. Now, this actually happened to me a couple of days ago with one of my one-to-one clients. If you're looking for any information on how to ensure that you absolutely succeed at every stage of the recruitment process, check the links below and check my Trustpilot reviews. And thank you to everyone, by the way, for giving me such awesome Trustpilot reviews. We are way up there with 5 stars. And I know some of you say things like, I couldn't have done it without you. Yes, you could have. All I've done is showed you the way. You've done the hard work, folks. So for those of you who've given me those Trustpilot reviews, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, back to the point. Doing this one-to-one coaching, and this particular client gives me 2 examples where I would absolutely just fail him. No matter how good the answers are after that, he's already failed. Now, I'm not going to go into the detail because I don't want to identify the individual, but one of them was around making a difficult decision. And what he talked about is how his manager in the workplace had told them absolutely not to do a certain thing. So what does he describe in his answer? How he actually did that certain thing. Just no. Just no. He thought he was giving a good example of decision making, and actually he didn't. He gave an example of a poor decision. But actually, did he? Because the example he gave, when I probed it further, he'd actually articulated his answer really, really poorly. What the manager had given him was guidance. They'd given guidance. And guidance is something that you can utilize in order to make good decisions. So his first answer made it sound like he's the sort of person who would go outside of what a sergeant had told you to do. So for example, the sergeant tells you, I want you to patrol this area here because it's a hot spot for burglaries. When you decide that you're not really interested in burglary prevention, you go into the city centre where all the action is. Because that's how his answer sounded. Whereas the reality, once I probed it further, was sergeant tells you to go into the burglary area, but only a mile outside of it, an incident gets called in, which is a high priority. It's an individual who's been believed to be assaulted in their house by their partner, and neighbours have called it in. It's a domestic violence. It's a priority. It's an absolute priority for the force, but there's no patrols nearer than you. Well, in that case, Sarge has told you to patrol this area, but what's the good decision? Well, the good decision is going to attend that domestic violence incident. As I shouted up, I'd probably say, look, you pass my compliments on to Sergeant such and such person, just let them know I'm attending this incident, just out of courtesy. Yeah, I know, it's only me that ever said things like pass on compliments. I picked it up from the Royal Navy years ago. I can't let it go. I think it sounds great. Anyway, that's just a quirky thing of mine. So do you see what I mean? But the individual would have failed because they'd not articulated their answer very well. And then he went on to talk about a problem that they'd solved, where they were engaged in a football match and they were going to lose, and so he deliberately fouled someone. Knowing that he was going to get a red card, knowing that he was going to get sent off, but knowing that it was going to avoid or give them there's something to do with a free kick. Tactical, strategic football playing, he described it as. Giving up his place on the next match so that they could win this game. And he thought it was a great example of problem solving. And apparently that's the sort of thing that happens in football. I failed him, straight away, failed him. So the question I asked him after was, so tell me, you committed a foul intentionally deliberately? Yeah, it was to save the game. Did that seem fair? He knew where it was going. Did that seem like the right thing to do? You're the sort of person that can actually follow things like the code of ethics? Or are you going to bend the rules to suit your own personal gain? At that point, he knew, he actually said, I've just dug a big hole, haven't I? So folks, what I'm saying is we've got to really think about our answers. Think about, one, how we articulate them, and two, what they're looking for, actually what they're not looking for, because I know exactly what they're looking for and I know exactly what they're not looking for. And that's why with confidence I can say that would fail you. That would fail you. That answer on its own would just fail you completely. And no matter what explanation you try to give, no matter what explanation, answers you give after that, you've failed. You've failed. So we did actually have a good chat about ethics. We had a good chat about the difference between a football game and policing. It was a very challenging conversation. Do I think he's the right person to join the constabulary? Yeah, on balance I do. Especially after his reflection and the discussion we had about fairness, about doing the right thing, and about being prepared to give something up in the interest of fairness. So, but at one point I was like, I'm not sure if he's ever going to be the right sort of person to join the police, but he saved the day. He saved the day. So this is what we do, folks. You know, the one-to-ones, the guidance that I provide in the webinars, we go deep. We dig deep into your background, into your values, into your motivation, so that when it gets to your interview, it's not that you're giving them what you think they want to hear. It's you being your authentic and emotional self in a structured and detailed way, but making sure that you avoid the big holes that you could have dug for yourself and put yourself back 6 months in the process because they failed you. So folks, there you go. How to ensure that you don't dig a big hole and jump in it and fail. Check the links below for all the services I've just talked about. They come with my absolute cast iron guarantee, so that if within 24 hours it's not for you, just let me know. I'll give you a full refund. I want to make sure that we part as friends. And if you do all the work I've asked you to do and you still fail, I'll give you a full refund. I'm all in on this journey with you, folks. I've been doing this now for 28 years. I've been in the police sector for 37 years. I've been coaching and supporting people just like you for 28 years now. I've built up a reputation based on doing the right thing, helping you to do the right thing, and ensuring and enabling that you succeed. So come and join me, folks. And if you've liked this video, please do subscribe. Click that like button. And if you've got any questions, comment away. Just say, hey Brendan, I've got a question for you. And I will answer that question for you. I'll catch you soon, folks. Bye-bye for now.